On the road again. I can't believe I'm on the road again. And this story is about a crappy hotel. I can't believe I'm on the road again. Before I get into the story of the dirty hotel, I do want to provide a preface. And I want to say that generally, I've been of the mindset that it's unnecessary to put more negativity out into the world. So the idea of kind of talking about a hotel and it being dirty kind of makes me feel bad. But on the flip side, if you're in the hospitality industry and you're running a hotel, especially a hotel that's near an airport, I understand how a higher use hotel might not be as clean or as fresh as a less frequently used hotel. I get that. But there are certain elements of cleanliness that I feel should be leveraged. The room does not have to be immaculate, right? If there are kind of stains in the carpet, but you know they've been attempted to be clean, but there's a stain, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. But I don't feel like I'm gonna get like something gross, like in my socks or in my feet if I walk around the hotel room barefoot, which I did not do in this hotel. There are just certain things that should be clean. The band Van Halen had this contract rider in the late 1970s and early 1980s that said, they must have a bowl of M&Ms in the backstage area, and that bowl of M&Ms is not to have any brown M&Ms in it. And a lot of people have heard that story, and they tend to think, oh, they're rock stars, they don't like the color brown, crazy, silly rock stars. It has nothing to do with Eddie Van Halen or David Lee Roth and their like or dislike of brown colored M&Ms. The people who wrote the contract rider have all of these other needs for a 1970s Van Halen concert. The way that they used to stack the amps and the amount of electricity that they needed to perform the concert. All of these things were written in the rider. Things like a clearance for the trucks and all of this other stuff. And if they went into the backstage area, if the managers went into the backstage area and noticed that there was brown M&Ms in the bowl, that means they didn't read the contract rider and they would have to go through and check off all of the things on the list to make sure that everything was right. So when you walk into a hotel room and you see that like maybe like one thing is sort of kind of dirty and then you start looking around for all the other maybe not so obvious things, the first thing I do is literally like lift up the bed to make sure that there's no bed bugs and check for all this other stuff. I'm a little nuts. I really get into it. South Philly Italians are already a little nervine about cleanliness. I know quite a few people that pack a whole separate suitcase with their own bed linens and like pillows and extra stuff because they don't want to sleep in a hotel room and use the linens in the hotel. I like to pack light, so I don't do that, but I understand the crazy, especially in scenarios like this when you go into a hotel room and it's kind of dirty. I'm not going to say it was the grossest hotel that I've ever stayed at. That distinction goes to Nashville. I forget what like the brand of the hotel was. It was a Marriott-owned hotel, but they had recently acquired it. And this hotel had like a very rock and roll theme in the downtown area. It was disgusting. That was the worst hotel I've ever stayed at to this point in my life. But this hotel near the St. Louis airport, it's in the top 5 for sure. Allow me to show you why. You'll see these suspicious streaks on the television. Now, I know what you're thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing. It's probably unlikely that someone was able to produce such an angle to make that particular thing happen. However, it's not reassuring. The room is also incredibly dusty. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's so dusty, but it's quite dusty. Everywhere. Everywhere. As I said in the opener, I don't love putting negativity into the world, but this is sort of benign. At the end of the day, nothing inherently gross happened, at the hotel. This is really more about my own neuroticness and desire for more cleanliness, more so than anything else. So you can laugh at me more so than hate on the hotel, but also, you know, I'm not going to mention the name of the hotel. You probably could figure it out. Maybe do like an ever so slightly better job and like dust, because the dust was everywhere in the room and I was like dried out like a mummy. And of course you call for a humidifier. They're like, no, we can't give you a humidifier. There's actually a guy who's staying the whole week at the hotel, and I noticed that he had a microwave that he was like in a box. And I'm like, why do you have a box? Why do you have a microwave? Like a brand new microwave? He's like, yeah, they wouldn't give me one. And I'm going to spend this whole week in the hotel. So I went out and bought like a $40 microwave or whatever so I can heat up my food in the hotel room. So I don't know, hospitality, if you're bringing people in, like you should have a microwave at least to give somebody. You don't have to put it in every room because again, who really uses a microwave? There's probably like 1 in 5 people, but you should have a couple to give to someone if they ask for it. Same thing with a humidifier, because all hotel rooms are super dry and like my lips were cracking by the end of the week. And that's just not great. But all hotels do that, by the way. It's not just this particular one. They're always dry for, I don't know why. I know they have humidifiers that they can give you if you ask, except that I asked and they didn't give me one. There it is. So laugh at me and my crusty lips and my freak out over something that probably wasn't what I thought it was, but still, come on, gross. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy my travel story. Thanks for watching. On the road again. I just can't believe I'm on the road again. But somehow I find myself on the road again. And here is my story about a really crappy hotel.